Jody, we are live, my friend, and I'm sitting here. First of all, I apologize to everybody for going on early because it's Vegas. We need to be flexible a little bit because we're going to be flying home here right away.
Yes.
And yeah, it's working. We are live. So we're early.
Good morning,
I'm
everybody.
also using the laptop, so it's going to be kind of a sketchiness. But
Ryan, never change the narrative. Please, if this is live on the channel, do not forget to like and subscribe.
100%. And people can always come back and watch it later. So the people that were tuning in 45 minutes from now, they're going to be able to watch it all or watch it all later as well.
Yes.
So, and here we are, man. It's not going to be a long show, my man, but we're here. We're in Vegas. We're getting ready to go home.
How you feel? Are you hungover?
I did not get drunk at all.
I would have.
Well, I had a few drinks, but I didn't get, I never get to that point anymore because, I hate ruining the experience I had with being hungover for 3 days because I'm old now, man. I can't handle that shit.
Oh, trust me. We get to a certain age, it's like, you know what? That's just for the young people now,
Yeah. Plus, it was a pretty good experience. So I am pretty sore, though. I'm pretty sore. Despite what you may have seen in that match, when you have that many restarts and you have a 275-pound guy plowing into you with a shoulder press, it takes it out of you.
It's almost like you were set up and you were expecting that. And it seems like once he tried to initiate his shoulder press and he got stopped, you can tell in his body language, his face, his reaction that he had no other place to go.
Well, what did I tell you? I said I was going to try to stonewall that press right off the bat.
And you did. So, and it was almost kind of predictable, But hell, I mean, aside from all your match, aside from the Tim Breslin, Matt Mass match, the talk was the refereeing. The talk was the rules. And we can either touch base about that now or we can do it after the matches.
Let's do after the matches because I got some some things that people to say about that. But where do you want to start with the matches? I mean, we had Frazier pulling Sean Hancock.
Well, here's the sad part. So I was out of town, right? My best friend's granddaughter's birthday. So I drove 3 hours north of Portland, hung out with them. So I had no inkling about what was going on. The only two matches I saw were like the marquee ones. So I haven't seen the other matches. So I can't really speak on that. But by all means, go ahead.
I'll give you my quick review on Frazier and Sean. So Frazier came in here and he agreed to straps right off the bat. Maybe in hindsight, he shouldn't have done that. It also looked like Frazier was kind of asleep at the wheel for the first few. And he got hit really fast, really hard, really fast. And he, Matt and I were telling him to wake up and start hitting early. And he did. And he started getting a little bit more into those matches and making it more competitive. Unfortunately, when you get stretched out in the first two matches, I mean, it's a long day after that. Frazier ends up losing 6-0. Yeah, and Sean looked really good, but so did Frazier. I mean, he looked, and I was watching. I caught a little bit of commentary after the fact. I went back and watched some of it, and it says he's doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it just looks that way because the move you're trying gets shut down and you just fall into the lane of your opponent. So it's not that there's no adaptation trying to happen. So
I pulled Sean
it's
Hancock.
Not necessarily that there's no adaptation.
I pulled Sean 2020 and same format, 6-rounder, and I threw everything I had at him and it didn't matter. Now, knowing what I know now, I've gotten a lot better in the strap. It'd be kind of cool to rerun that. But, sometimes you're absolutely right. When you think you're trying to something else and it doesn't matter. And when they shut that lane down and you feel like, well, crap, from the outsider's perspective, you feel like you're giving into him, which you're really not. It's just that what you're trying to apply has been shut down. That's pretty much how that goes.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a good match. And towards the end, it started to look better and better. And I think Frazier got more comfortable. It's been a couple of years since we've had meaningful super matches. So I think he came out of that learning some stuff, and he'll come back stronger than ever next time.
What did he weigh going into that match, Frazier?
Frazier really struggled to put on. Like, man, the guy he's training people all day long, right? So he's got his Frazier's Next Level training, his studio gym in Black Falls,
Right.
and he trains people all day long. So he tried so hard to put on weight, but he's just burning calories like a goddamn furnace, because he's participating in, like, he's basically working out all day. And I think he came in around 205. To me, they looked like, when you put them next to each other, they looked very similar in weight.
Yeah.
I would have said that, Frazier probably was the more muscular of the two.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, it was good. It was a better match than the results indicate.
Yep, I would agree. I can't wait to actually see that match just so I can kind of pick it apart for my own perspective on it, But yeah, I mean, I saw Frazier, when you and him were, talking with Matt with his match with Brisden, you kind of going over, and yeah, he looked pretty thick. I'm like, man, he's got to be like 220, 225. That's what he looked like anyway.
I think he was 205 at most, maybe
Wow.
202. Yeah. So I mean, he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him.
That guy knows how to carry some weight. Good for him.
Yeah. So let's go Let's go into. It's funny because there's a comment. Stevie Diamond said Matt looked massive. The funny part about that is, when I ran into Tim, he says, "Yeah, I saw Matt. I thought he was going to look a lot bigger before their match."
Well,
And then I saw Tim,
I'm
and
trying to
Tim
figure
looked
out.
goddamn huge. Like, Tim looked in way better shape than I saw him for the Derek Smith match.
I think the Derek Smith match kind of woke him up. I think it was like, okay, if I'm going to be still competing at a high level with these guys who are younger than me, then I better, up my game. But Tim, if you notice, he got his own YouTube, and they posted stuff on him getting ready for Matt, all that kind of stuff. And, I was seeing some of the technical aspect of it, and that looked pretty darn good,
You know, you can get into we might as well talk about the rules if we're going to talk about Matt and Tim. I mean, here's the bottom line. Whether or not you agree with the rule set, we knew the rules coming into this. We knew what they were. We knew everything was going to get called tight. And Leonard did a really, whether you agree with the rules or not, that Leonard did a really good job enforcing the rules that the matches happened under.
Can I have a moment to get on my soapbox for a second regarding this?
Yes.
Here's the thing, guys. Different organizations have different set of rules, okay? Now, Ryan, you've pulled the WAF before. You know how tight the rules are. I've pulled IFA before. I know how tight the rules are. And those same kind of rules will go for PAL. So when you compete under those organizations, you're going to have those set of rules. And I know, and this is going off of what Ryan Bone said, and I'm not getting on Ryan, but he complained about, the reffing, and it's not, good for TV. I was like, look, here's the thing. Not every tournament needs to be pay-per-view now. And I think we're starting to go to that. So now it's like, well, we need to have the close your thumb, close your hands, go. That's good if you're WAL. That's good if you're Travis Bagent League NAL. That's good. But I think, and this is my opinion, because I pulled different set of rules before, you just have to adapt to them. But you got to understand, it's the puller's responsibility to know the rules. Devin, Levon, so on, so on. It's the puller's responsibility to know that once I put my elbow on the pad, it's my responsibility, not the refs, to keep it on the 7x7-inch pad. Bottom line, it's your responsibility. Now, also, if the ref is in a ref grip and they're closing your thumbs, closing your hands, and they're doing that, why are we taking off? Because it's the puller's responsibility to listen to the ref's commands. And all Leonard did was close your thumbs, he's closing the hands. All of a sudden, as soon as this went down, people are going already. That ain't the ref's fault. That's the puller's fault, right? You know that. Just like, this is why so many people, and I'll use Marcel Barboza for an example, not getting on him, but I think it was the wall 406. I think is when he pulled Todd Zilla, I believe, the last match. And after that, you're so used to like, running fouls. Cool, I get that. And then I think a few months later, he went down to Nemiroff and got elbow fouled out because now it's a different kind of style, which means they're going to call that a lot more tight. And you have to know the rules. You got to understand that, okay, I may be able to get away with this in a WAL format, but I'm not going to get away with that in a PAL type atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and is it the most user, most spectator friendly set of rules? No, it's not. There can be improvements. There can be different things to fix. Leonard and I talked about, previous to the pandemic, he had designed a dome would eliminate the micro fouls, you know. Um, but those are the rules. Those are the rules we agreed to pull under. And I don't dislike pulling under these rules. I would rather, if I was to pull somebody that was, let's say, an elite arm wrestler that has a history of just completely taking advantage and manipulating the referees, I'd rather pull under PAL rules because they're going to
You
get
know why
called tight, they're going to get fouled.
it can be frustrating, but you know what? I'll say this. When you pull under those rules, PAL, WA, IFA, it makes the puller pull in control. There is no wild, erratic pulling where, people are popping off here and sliding forward, doing all that kind of stuff to gain or all that kind of stuff. They make you pull in control because then there's no room for nonsense. Like I said, that's my opinion. And honestly, sometimes that's a disadvantage to me when I go to another tournament under a different set of rules because I'm so used to like straight, okay, I'm straight right here, my elbows down. All of a sudden I missed everything because I'm so tuned in on what I normally do at these tournaments, because I've pulled tons and tons of Denise Leonard tournaments over the years. And I know how they're gonna, call those matches. I know when Leonard refs, he trained me. Hell, I'm a certified ref under his umbrella, so I know how this stuff goes. So sometimes it can be a detriment. I understand.
It's
You take.
umbrella.
Whoa, what happened? Um. Anyway,
My
I
phone
pulled
fired up.
matches.
Put on our show.
Oh, I pulled tournaments under Bill Collins and Leonard Harkless, and they're two different refs from the cadence and everything. Where any bunny hop elbow foul, Leonard's going to call it. With Bill Collins, nothing against him, but if you bunny hop but you do not gain advantage, then he's most likely to let that go a little bit, right? Now, if you
Yeah.
notice though, here's the cadence. Here's Leonard Harkless. Ready, go. That's the cadence. Whereas Bill Collins is don't move, go. Right? So every puller should know this. When you go to a tournament, the first thing you should do, if they don't announce it as they always do, what is the ref's cadence? Because it has to be that straight across the board. That way okay, I know the cadence now. Now I can go ahead and put my game plan in effect. It's real simple. People overthink things.
That's one of the very first things I was taught when I went to a tournament as a new arm wrestler, is to go up and watch some of the matches and listen to the referee's cadence and how they were saying their goes. Because some of them will say ready, go so fast, they might as well just be saying go.
Yeah. And that's how you get too many false starts.
Yeah, and they get rid of the ready, so there's less false starts. But I mean, I think I didn't watch the whole John Brzenk Ryan Bowen. I got into a little bit of it, but John is kind of more level-headed when it comes to that. I think Ryan's overreacting a little bit when it comes to this stuff. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Tim found a lane, and he won the match.
Yep.
And when the matches stopped, Tim looked comfortable, we'll say. So they're at center, and Matt starts doing the rights, and his elbows bounce around. That's Tim's fault.
Yeah,
I think,
totally agree.
yeah, I think Tim did a good job. Came out on top in a match that he was heavily the underdog.
Here's the thing. PAL, right? That's all Tim's been pulling for how many years now? So he knows the ref's cadence. He knows what the rules are under that banner. And here you got Matt Mass coming on. And again, this is no disrespect to Matt, but when you're used to like, hey, I'm a WAL guy, I'm used to that kind of format, and you're coming in, now you're pulling under a different set of rules. And it's like, okay, you may have to alter your style just a tad bit. Not much, but a
Yeah.
tad bit as far as the goal, the setup, all that kind of stuff.
So this, as far as your opinion on the win loss, losing of the match, I mean, this is an interesting one because Tim doesn't seem to have anything booked, but Matt sure does. Matt's got a lot of stuff coming up. He's got Rick Heidebrecht coming up in Ontario. He's got, and that's a PAL match again. That's a PAL rules match. Then he's got Prudnik coming up. Not to mention a left arm match against Morozov.
This is the point. This is where Matt needs to go. Okay, I will take this Tim Breslin match. Okay, I lost. Eat it. Do what you got to do. But now it's time to go. Okay, if the Rick match is under PAL, I got to watch that over and over again. Make sure I am comfortable before the go. Because I'm telling you right now, if you're not, it's going to mess with you mentally. And that's the one thing you don't want is your mental psyche all messed up going into matches like that, especially big time profile matches.
And Matt's violent style of pulling is kind of, I say violent because, it is like he'll hit you 15 times in a match, and it kind of lends itself to elbow fouls under this rule set. So he's got to make some changes there, maybe.
Right. Totally get that. I've been known to do that because of my style. It's just, sometimes it can be erratic. I think I've cleaned that up a little bit over the years, but I totally get that. I'm not going to say I never elbow foul, but because of my style, it's real aggressive, that can be advantage sometimes. And sometimes depending on what league I'm under, what rules, it could be a disadvantage. I may have to alter some things. So, that's just the way it is. As pullers, we're responsible for all that, We have to adjust to what the rules say it is. We have to adjust to what the referee cadence is. And then once we understand that, then just go ahead and compete and pull. But we all know as arm wrestlers, there's always somebody trying to get an advantage before the go. We all know it. Tim did it a couple times. Matt did it a few times. I've pulled people in the past where they got the advantage and they got caught or something, and the ref didn't see it, didn't call it, and I lost. That's just the way it is,
Yeah. Jay Clean made the comment. I know he has told the refs to call the micro elbow fouls don't affect the match. Well, that's fine if that's agreed to before the match. But they agreed to that before the match. It was all this under the PAL rules. We knew it was going to get called. They advertised rigid rules. So, I mean, what did we expect?
I don't think the audience who saw it or complained about it don't understand that these pullers, they like you just said, they agreed to it. So it's like going, okay, if they agreed to it, but see, the arm wrestling community doesn't know that. That's why they struggle. They don't understand that, oh, these guys agreed to it. Okay, fine. There was a match 4 or 5 years ago between RVJ and Craig Tullier up at New England's, and it was a constant, elbow foul here, this, that, and the other. But both pullers agreed to that format. And so to the naked eye, to the fans that we are, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Why are they not calling this and calling that? Well, they both agreed to it. So it's like, oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Talk about the third match, which was actually the second match.
And who was that?
Yours truly versus Monster Michael left-handed. And we had fun, man. Like, that was a fun match. And there was a question in the chat. How many times did he try to elbow foul you? Well, he was trying to elbow foul me a lot toward the end there because he was trying to win the show. He was trying to win the speaking.
I'll say this.
Win the match.
It was hard for me to pick a winner. I know some people ask me, hey, Jody, who do you have in this match? And I said, I don't have anybody. Why? because Michael Todd is a good friend of mine. I love Michael and Rebecca. They're good friends of mine. I'm not going to go against my co-host, Ryan Espy. Let's be real. So I'm kind of stuck right in the middle. But what I did see is that it was a playful Michael. It wasn't the aggressive, because I think he knows that his left is his party arm, I guess, so to speak. But I will say this. Match one, I can see Michael. I can hear Michael. If you watch Brad Cook's 217 video, perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Feel me? So when you stood up, Michael was always talking about, hey, he's on my thumb knuckle, get him off my thumb knuckle, which is fine. I never heard that after that first match. Never heard it anymore, because in the next match, both of you guys are covering your own knuckles, and it's like, okay, none of that mattered. But it just seems like this is a perfect case of, if you got one move and someone stops it, you're in the world of trouble. What I see.
The plan for me coming in was to blast through that, or try to hit sideways through his press, and it worked. And it said it actually hurt when I did that, which, I kind of knew it would. I thought it would hurt me too, to be honest.
Right.
And Brad did an amazing job filming it. I watched it out. I was like, that's good. He's a talented guy. But, I mean, I felt really, really, really good pulling Michael, and I needed that win. Let's face it. I mean, coming back, did the confidence boost, and I don't know what else there is to say about it. And I felt pretty comfortable in just about every position. And
I could tell you meant business, because if you watched that entire match, you didn't say a lot of words. You said little to no words, meaning that, okay, I'm focused on here, because your last outing with your left hand wasn't the best. We all know that. And a lot of it had to do with, your right arm being blown to shreds, and you got to hold on to the peg, and you got Kradeka just blasting off, 3-2-1. And I know that, okay, Ryan put a lot of stock in this match. And so I'm thinking, okay, when it was all said and done, and Ryan dominated, 5-1. Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, hey, I won. Congratulations. We'll have pizza. Fine, whatever. But guess what? I'm flying home. I might take a day off of training, and now it's on the what? Corey West? Is that who we're getting ready for now?
Yeah, actually, kind of funny. I was offered another match in between Corey. I was offered it 2 days ago, and I said, give me a couple days to think about it. It's going to have to be a no-win workshop match. I just need to. I need to take Corey as seriously as I possibly can. 2 weeks before him is just not a realistic thing. So yeah, Corey next May 21st, and I need to come and start training immediately. And yeah, I felt a couple small things you didn't see. After match 2, I walked on stage and I went and high-fived Rebecca. And I thought she was going to snub me, but she actually put her hand up. Gave one.
I didn't see that.
And then in the middle of the match, I was seeing, and this was kind of a funny thing that we kept talking about as the night went after, or the next day, I said, let me see my knuckle, or I want to see my knuckle, Leonard. He goes, I can see it. It's beautiful, he says. Saying it's beautiful. He's like, I don't know why the hell I kept saying that. But I told him I was going to go home and start my hand modeling career, because my hands are so beautiful.
I did see that, and I thought that was kind of funny. Every now and then, it's so nice to have referees and arm wrestlers kind of crack a joke from time to time, just to kind of take some of the intensity down if you need to. It was fun. I think Michael had more fun pulling it once he knew that, okay, this is not going to work to my advantage today. Let's just have fun with it. See where it goes. And that's kind of good.
So let's address the thing that kind of is my little piss off about this whole weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 2 things. One of them is Cody Merritt came up to me and said, after your match, at the end of this all, can you just power up with me slowly on the table? Because I want to see if I have pain in my arm, in my left arm, against the guy that's elite. So we go over to the practice table.
Yeah.
We put our elbows down, and I power up. We just kind of slow. Cody pulled me over a couple of times. Well, I looked,
Right.
there's about 17 cell phones recording thing. And then people go on and they start talking shit. Ryan had nothing for Cody. Ryan had nothing for Cody. There's a few things. Number one, it's practice. So shut the
Mm-hmm.
fuck up. Okay? Number two, we're slow pulling and powering up. There is one tool out of possibly 10 that's being used.
Right.
Okay? I am basically holding. I had just pulled a super match that no matter how many people say how easy the match was or how dominant it looked, there was 18 restarts in that match. Like, give me a break. No, he's gonna get crushed. He's in that league. Come on, cut me some slack here.
Here's
And
the
then
thing, Ryan. You know, you and I both know there's a difference between practice pulling and tournament pulling. There's people in the chat right now. There's a certain guy in this chat who knows what I'm talking about. Okay. When you grip up with somebody, usually just to say, hey, this is power pull, whatever. First of all, there's no ready goes. Okay. There's no reps. So it's kind of like when I do with somebody and go like toe to toe with somebody, it's basically, I'll let you go. I'll see if I can slow you down.
yeah,
But it's not like I'm doing a tournament hit. And some people don't understand that. We're just slow pulling, and it's like, okay, fine. And then sometimes you get these boneheads that want to just slow pull in the top roll, which doesn't prove anything. I'm thinking, if you're going to do that, go find me a strap and then try that shit. But again, people out there, arm wrestling community, look, it's just slow pulling. There's no reps there. I don't know why people try to, confuse.
there's
Yeah,
refs,
take all
no
the pictures
aggression.
you
There's
want.
fire to win. It's adrenaline dump was present. It's pulling a friend on the practice table to see if he's ready to start dabbling in the again.
Well, I mean, didn't Cody just come off a hip surgery?
He did, and he was really in pain. At the end of the day, I'm surprised he even got to go to the table. But I mean, truth be told, Cody feels damn strong.
Yeah.
Also, truth be told, I feel like I have lanes against Cody, and
Right.
I might be more successful than any other wrestler in North America against Cody. So that needs to happen at some point.
I'd shake it off, Ryan. If I wouldn't worry too much about it, it's like, you know what? You guys do what you do. I know where I'm at, and that's all that matters. Look, you just had a war with Michael Todd. It was one-sided, but it was a war, right? And then now all you got to do is focus on, Mr. Corey West and go from there. Who cares about Pork Chop? Who cares about all the other stuff?
I just needed to get it off chest, Joe, and it's gone. And
there you go.
So listen, everybody. Now, the next thing I wanted to just touch on is that I actually put my arm into tournament, and I probably shouldn't have. It didn't hurt, but boy, did it feel shitty. Like there was just missing pieces there, and I got like, and they threw. Hey, so if my arm is here, if straight sideways is 9 o'clock, if straight backwards 6 o'clock, I'm missing 7 and 8. Those gears aren't. So that's a big gap. So anything, I can go straight sideways, I can go backwards, and even come down like can opener style, but missing stuff in the middle. So I was hoping to get a couple easy matches first right off the bat, but they stuck Cody and I right at the top of the bracket. So he pulled the match and I had a bye, and then I had to pull him in my first match. So I lost my match to Cody, which, I made him struggle just a little bit because I still have some lanes. But no, he beat me. And then I got beat by another big kid. He's probably a 100-pounder, but he's a great big kid, new guy. I can't recall his name off the top of my head, but loads of potential and versatile because he was trying to top roll me at first, and then suddenly busted out this big shoulder press flop wrist Jerry Cadorette style move. And man, I was impressed. But I went 2-0. But I mean, it's all it was meant as a test, and it made it very clear to me that I need to continue to make the left arm great again, Jody.
There's nothing wrong with that. And, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Ryan. I was concerned. I thought in the back of my head when you said, I'm going to test the right arm. And I sat there and said to myself, Ryan, is that a good idea? But, you had your mind made up. Speaking to you as a good friend, a co-host, I don't think you should have done it. But, you're a grown man. You can do what you want. I just don't think it was probably a good idea because you just got off a win, right? Left-handed. Now you're back in the fold. And you and I know if you're left-handed, but your right arm is fucked up and you got to hold that peg, sometimes that peg hand is your stability hand. And if you can't stabilize yourself while you're giving all your all with the left, it ain't going to make a damn, So I was concerned about that. But you found out what was going on. I think now it's like, okay, pumpkin training, where the hell you guys want to, whatever term you guys want to use. But yes, make that left hand great again. And speaking as a fellow southpaw puller from one lefty to another, yes, make that thing great again.
Yeah, man, that's my focus. And, might not see me. It'll be a long time before you see me right at tournament again. I think probably even nationals in July. Like I might just pull left. I just continue that left arm guy that goes around, does it like that.
Now, you going to WAF this year?
Well, the funny thing is, I'm definitely not going to WAF. Now, having pulled an IRPA event now, I might be banned.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
totally forgot about that.
That's a whole different story. This, I might do IFA. I mean, IFA sounds pretty interesting. And for you, you probably don't know this, Jody, but there's a big announcement, big collaboration with Bob Brown, Rob Baxter, Devin Bear, and I apologize if I'm some others, but for you Americans, if you go to the IFA Nationals, win your class, one of the open classes, they're going to give you $1,000 towards your Worlds.
Yes. I'm assuming that's just for open pullers, right? Is it for Masters also?
He still said open, so next Masters, but they specifically open. So I'm not sure it extended team in the open classes to go to the IFA or not in Paris, in Normandy Beach, France.
Yes, and I'm telling you right now, that is a awesome. And people think IFA, yeah, blah blah blah. I'm telling you, we're in the early stages. This will be IFA number 3, I believe. The first one was in Poland on the same weekend as the Nemiroff that year, and that was 2019. 2020 got canceled because of COVID. Last year, 2021 was in Florida. I was a part of that, by the way. Second place Masters if you need me. And then this year will be in it'll be in France. So, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and I'm telling you right now, if I wasn't in the situation that I am right now, I'd be gunning for the Nationals the weekend of June 21st and 22nd up in Irving, Texas.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, there's another big news. Like, as far as IFA getting stronger, Denise shared this with me that apparently the strongest 15 clubs in Bulgaria have united under the Bulgarian Arm Wrestling Federation. So that's a new organization. And I assume that means they're coming to IFA. But the president, and this name should mean something to people, is Svieten Gashevsky.
Ah.
He is a legend. And that's big news for IFA. So Bulgaria, it sounds like they'll have a team there too. So it's growing. It's getting bigger.
I say in about 5 years, this IF thing is just going to blow up. I'm telling you, it's going to blow up, So if you're hungry for that national title, Americans, and then you're hungry for that world title in IFA, now be time to get on board. I'm telling you, this is it's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, my man, I think I got to wrap her up for the day because we got to go have some breakfast and get ready and get on a plane.
Yes, sir. And then how about this next Monday? Because we didn't get a chance to talk about today, and I'm sure there'll be more talk about it. We could talk about the RBJ and Ryan Bowen banter and all that kind of stuff. So,
oh yeah, man, yeah, we will definitely talk about that because Jody, I don't think we've seen the last of that, and there'll be probably more videos coming this week. I'm guessing. It should be fun. But let's bring that up next week, and I know that we're going to have other stuff to talk about between now and then. So,
exactly. Well, my friend, congratulations on your match. I'm glad you walked out unscathed on the right hand. Now let's just go ahead and just don't worry about the right. Focus more on the left. You have a big match coming up, and train hard, my friend. And we'll see you next Monday.
Thanks, brother. Thanks everyone for watching, and remember, go check out Jody's channel as well. Hit subscribe there and subscribe here and hit like and all that fun stuff. It's free to subscribe, but we appreciate the memberships too.
Thanks, everybody. You guys have a good Monday.
All right, Jody. We'll talk to you very soon.
Talk to you then.